Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to another episode 114 of American Idiots. Every single time I say something in the hundreds, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
No, numbers are
What have
getting
we
up
been
there.
doing? What have we been doing with our lives? But big up everybody. Big up everybody in the chat already. Big up Logic. Big up Carl Rossi. It's been a while, my guy. Good to see you. And then, of course, Hendo's here. If you guys are watching on playback or you're watching right now, smash the like button. Big up Logic as well. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You know the deal. Share the stream around. And we'll get it going here. And obviously keep your comments going in the chat and comment on the video after the live as well. Today we are going to start off with asking Dal how he's doing. Dal, how you doing, bro?
Hi. Doing pretty good. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Can't really complain. It's beautiful out here today. Nice sunny winter day, but doing okay. A little bit of a headache. Didn't get too much sleep last night, but I'm doing all right. Just living the dream. Ready for the games this weekend and ready for Capo to turn on his computer and join the show.
Yes, and we will be joined by Football Capo later, everybody. And you know he's going to have some good opinions. And big up the chat, big up Hugo in the chat, big up Acers in the chat. It's my favorite thing. You know it's a good show when you got Acers coming in here. You know it's going to be a great show. It's going to be awesome. And big up Hugo every single time. Dal, did you watch the game against Club Bruges?
I did.
What did you think?
Nani Henry. No, it was a straight ahead performance. I think my prediction was 3-1, so I thought they might bag one, and I know they had the ball for a little bit of time, but they weren't that much of a threat. Let's be honest. I was a little disappointed not to see Kepa get a start. I'm like,
yeah, that was weird.
To him, you know, I don't know if I necessarily agree with Norgard at center back, but hey. 3-0, man. I'll take that all day long. And Madwecki was absolutely immense. What an incredible first goal that was. What an incredible first goal. And then my man, redemption song, Martinelli, trying to did his thing a bit. It's 5 for 5 in Champions League, but can't get anything going in the Prem. But, hey, it is what it is, man. But, that was an incredible goal he scored too. That's what we want to see, right? We want him to lift your head up, and magic happens. So, other than that, 3-0 straight ahead win. I knew we would win. I was pretty confident we'd get a win, but again, I think my scoreline was 3-1. I figured they'd nick one in maybe, at the end of the game or something. But I thought Madwecki again, proving that you can do more than just go out wide and cross the ball when you're double team. Proving that you can cut early, on the outside of your left foot. These are things Saka needs to take note of. I'm sorry, he's just not firing on all cylinders right now. And I'm done calling him Star Boy. We've won nothing really with this kid in the lineup for the last 4.5 years. And I'm not trying to blame Saka or anything, so I don't want to, get into that necessarily that debate. But Madwecki showed us how it's done. It's Club Bruges, though, right? At the end of the day, right? It's not like it's going against City, Liverpool, etc. But no, all props to Madwecki. Incredible performance. He got the start, and I think Arteta needs to really be looking at what he's producing compared to Saka. Shout out Rossi. Saka has been shit. I will say that was chess too. It's not gone well the last few weeks, and he could be as broken as well. Hendo, exactly. But Madwecki, I think, even deserves the start this weekend. It's Wolves. Let's see what this kid can do. We've kind of written him off the day he signed the thing, but he's here. He's working hard. He scored some great goals. He scored a great goal against Bayern Munich. And other than that, I think again, Saka needs to take notice that it's looking a little one-dimensional right now. And Madwecki just brought a little more flair. And what do you know? Scored a couple of great goals, and the header was great too. Zubamendi put the ball on a plate, and you got to be there to score it.
Player, man. I'm not hearing any more Zubamendi critics. Like this guy. I'm telling you, man. I still think he's going to be the signing of the season for us. Like I think he's been immense. Okay. I think he's been immense. Now that being said, on the topic of Saka, I think Saka is just not getting the GA. I think he's getting boxed out. I think what the manager is telling him to do does not fit to his play style. But Nani Madueke for us has been great. I've been singing Nani Madueke's praises the entire season, bro. If we're being real, like especially it started with that game against Forest before he got injured. Like I think he had a stinker after that. I don't remember who it was against. But that performance against Forest and obviously that performance last night, man, he just takes on his man. You know what I mean? This guy will run at defenders, and that is something that sometimes it'll seem bullheaded, but when it's done correctly, it looks immense. He's absolutely spinning that left back into a fucking blender, bro. Like he was fantastic. He was immense last night. And then Gabriel Martinelli. Let's go ahead and just say that he is not the third best winger on the Brazilian national team. I would say he's the second or the first. Because we need to start having some difficult conversations, some crucial, controversial, difficult conversations about Vinicius Jr. Okay? This guy is garbage. You want to talk about a star boy? Everybody's saying, oh, yeah, Vinny Jr. is my star boy. Did you watch him against Man City? He was shit. This guy was
terrible.
And then I have to hear about, oh, Martinelli, he's garbage too. Bro, what a fucking goal. I don't care who that was against. It was only against Club Brugge. Bro, argue with the wall. That was a world-class finish. World class. And you said it, Dal, and I'm going to toss it over to Capo after this too. If the kid picks up his head and takes a shot, I swear to God, sometimes it just seems like he lacks the confidence, but when he picks up his head and takes a hit, bro, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like this, he can bang, man. And look, I'm not saying he's the next best thing or anything like that. I'm just saying that the potential is always there with Martinelli, man. He just sometimes he needs his confidence. And when he loses it, he looks like one of the worst players in the league. When he has it, he looks like one of the best left wingers in the league. So yeah. But Capo, big up, man. How you doing, bro?
Salud, gentlemen. Happy Friday. You already know what time it is.
Yes,
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on as always. Always got to show some love to my Americanos. You know what I mean? It's there's too much going on across the way on that side of the pond, but I'm happy to be here, bro. It's been a minute since we caught up. I think last time I was with you, I was in the city amongst chaos, and I was on the road trying to. It was the game before the second leg of Real Madrid. That was the last time I was on. So it's been a minute, man. But I wanted to show you some love. Do me a favor, everybody in the chat. Smash the likes. It's free. We're talking ball. We're going to go ahead and press these two over here for some of the things that I've been seeing over the last couple of months. But most importantly, subscribe if you are new. That shouldn't be an issue. Just go ahead, smash the like, subscribe, bro. You're going to get a lot more content. But
listen to the Capo.
Dal?
Listen to the Capo, people.
Yes, sir.
DJ,
how you been?
I've been good, man. Been good. I've been mostly on the soccer pitch a lot for the last couple of months, man. I hope I'm not lagging. Is that me or is that you guys?
No, you're not lagging. You're good.
No, you're good.
All right, awesome. But yeah, listen. It's been a minute since I voiced my opinion, my concerns over on the tube. Obviously we got a little group chat going on where we kind of throw in our 2 cents here and there, but I've been quiet, man. I've been quiet this year.
Yeah.
And the reason why I've been quiet is because, a lot of the top gooners get a little offended when I go, and get at them. No, dead
That's true.
I go for people's throats and then I hear crickets in the group chat. Nobody wants to respond. Nobody wants to go ahead and I put something on the group chat talking about stats. Everybody's a stat merchant until the stats don't make up, the sense.
Don't make up their narrative, bro. Yeah.
Exactly, man. So you know what? I decided to go ahead and take a little hiatus from the tube because everything that I've been saying has been coming to fruition so far. In terms of, there's no more excuses, and that's the most beautiful thing. No more excuses. We have an A team, we have a B team. And no matter who the hell we put on the field, we should come out with a result. And that's point blank. This team, this squad right now is reminding me when we had like six attackers, 6 forwards. You remember that? When Wenger had Bentner, he had Lupoli, he had Henry, he had who else was Adebayor was on there. We had a bunch of people. So the excuses are out the door, first and foremost. I like the way we're coming out, setting up shop defensively. We're looking solid. That's something I think that we've been showing for the last couple of years, to be fair. But this is the year where I think Raya has instilled confidence in his two center backs, and the center backs are also showing the same thing back. And now we have consistent left back and right back rotations going in there. Obviously, yeah. Timbers, he's been playing a lot of games this season. We haven't seen him enough of White, which I think is a good problem to have. But listen, I just jumped on here. I know you guys were talking about Noni. I know you guys were talking about Gabriel Martinelli. I'd like to go ahead and dissect each one, obviously with the amount of time that we do have. But I like what I see from the boys. I do. I like what I see from the boys, but there's always one constant throughout the last 6-7 seasons that we had is the managerial choices that are being made in those games where we're losing points this season.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, gentlemen, let's mix it up, puppy. It's Friday. Bring it the energy. Let's go.
I wanted to talk about this because I mean we could talk about our wingers. We could talk about our wingers all day, all night. I feel like our wingers is absolutely cooked. I don't think that's too much of a story.
No, it will be. I told you in the group chat what I was coming to today.
Yep.
I was coming at you today for one specific thing, but go on.
I'm ready. No, and I'm ready to talk about it, to be honest with you. Ooh, hello, Mrs. Goonie. Hello. Yeah, I wanted to share something that Dal showed me, and we're gonna have to talk about this because, like, we're talking about uncomfortable conversations. That does not go out. That also reaches inside, our own fan base and our own team, right? Let's talk about this. Let me get rid of the American Idiot Show thing here real quick. Let's talk about this. Service in to Victor Gyokeres. Thank you, Dal, for sending this to me.
I sent it earlier this morning, too, in the group chat.
Yep. Service into Victor Gyokeres. Is this during this is Club Brugge, yeah. Against Club Brugge. Nothing. Now, I want to know what you guys think, and then obviously I'll give my thoughts on it. But what are your guys' thoughts on how Victor Gyokeres is being utilized by the club at this current moment? And do you think it's affecting his output or his potential output?
Go to you, Capo.
No.
Oh, yeah. Go to me? Oh, okay. Go for it. Well, I guess I posted that because I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And the output is clear as day. This isn't like this isn't an anomaly. This has happened before, right? And I know Odegaard and Gyokeres haven't been on the pitch that much together this season at all. But if that was Moreno, if that was Havertz, right? You could replace the number, but it's still the same non-service, right? It's just, it's not direct enough. And I just feel like there's pictures too you can see. I don't think it was the Bruges game or the who'd we play last time? Who'd we play last week?
Villa,
right.
Oh, okay.
There were times you could see Gyokeres looking over his shoulder, running off the shoulder of Konsa or Pau Torres, whichever one it was, that he's looking for the ball just to come to his feet, bro. I just don't see why we just can't make that pass, right? Odegaard is good at getting space around him. We've noticed that. He can get space. He does a little dribbling, he does his little flicks and stuff, and he can create space. But what he does with that space is completely useless. It's not forward thinking. Big up Anthony Herbert. You're my hero, buddy.
The tractor boy, man.
It's just not direct enough. And I remember when we talked about Zubimendi before we bought him, because we did pretty much, I think, buy him in January and didn't wait until the summer for him to make the move. That why not have Rice, another defensive mid? At the time was Partey until Partey departed, right? And then have Zubimendi on that right side. Rice, the CDM, and Zubamendi. And my only thought going for that was that he could actually pick a pass out and play a direct through ball to our striker. That was my whole line of reasoning. That, yeah, we know this guy can pass. Yeah, he doesn't have the physicality, and I'm not going to call him Super Mendy because he's impressive some games and not others. He's a Spanish Odegaard.
I think that's an overstatement.
Oh,
well, okay.
He's better than that.
Well, okay, kinda. But is he that?
I disagree. It's okay if I disagree.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'm sure people
disagree.
He's
going back
maybe
to
maybe I'm talking out of pocket. But the reality is that none of it is forward thinking as we've seen Liverpool. As crap as they have been, sorry, they can still get the ball to Edeteki. Right? Man City, what's their game plan? Oh, if it doesn't work in the midfield, we'll just lob it over to Holland and give them something to run onto. That worked 2 seasons ago. It didn't work too well last season, right? Because Pep kind of diverted from that. But now they're kind of back to that in a way. And Phil Foden is in form. Jeremy Doku's becoming the player that we never thought he would be, right? So now not only do they have Holland as a weapon, their 2 wingers are weapons, and then throw in Ryan Cherki, who's absolutely cutting it up. Ryland, Reindeers, who can have a decent game. It's like, how do, and again, I go back to Sporting Lisbon when they were under Amorim. Like, why can they figure it out? Why can their attacking midfielder figure it out?
Yeah.
And we can't. That's my frustration, to be honest, guys, is that if Sporting Lisbon's midfield can figure out how to get service to a striker, regardless if it's Gyokeres or their second string striker, but this guy scored 92 goals in 2 seasons. And I don't want to hear Portuguese league. I don't, because he's not scoring those goals without the service. Now, I'm not saying he'd score, 92 goals for Arsenal or anything like that. But at this point in time, with the right service, he should be in double digits. I'm talking 12, 13 goals. He should be competing with Holland on some sort of level, right? And that's where I get the oomph the most, is that it's not just Odegaard is doing that, right? It's a cumulative thing, right? But it's noticeable of Odegaard. He's supposed to be the captain. Well, he is the captain. He's supposed to be the attacking threat, right? What's attacking when everything's predictable to Saka and back and forwards, a little bit forward, a little bit lateral, right? I just don't see what this guy really brings. And I mean, that picture again isn't just some one-off. It could happen with Havertz. It can happen with Moreno, right? Again, you can replace the striker, but it's still the non-service that we're getting from our captain. And I just think that image is indicative of what this player really brings. And it's not attacking football, you guys. It is pedestrian, make it look good, keep the possession, because possession must matter, right? Which in some level it does. But it only matters though when you're up 2 or 3-0. Yes, you want possession then, but what's it good keeping possession when it's 0-0? Your striker's begging for the ball, and you're playing one side on the right side the whole time. And no wonder Saka's getting double teamed, is out of form and so forth. Because you get the ball with his heels on the touchline, what's he supposed to do? And I just think that if we would have had a different CDM, give Rice the left flank still, put Zubamendi up there as more of just kind of a real true midfielder. He doesn't have to be an all-out attacking mid. But at this point, I'd rather have Eze in there, right? We were talking about this, TJ, before Eze was even in the picture, right?
Yep.
So now that Eze's there, the hat trick alone against Spurs should be solidified evidence that this guy needs that number 10 position week in and week out. It's not every day you get a hat trick again in the NLD, right? That is something special. And I know Spurs are absolute dog shit, as they typically are. But what Eze proved that day is that he was up for it. And he did it against the club that thought 99% thought he was in their camp. So it was an extra fuck you to them, right? Which was glorious. And then Odegaard and our friends in the chat have been saying it. You've been saying it, TJ. No Capo hasn't. In chat rooms and so forth, is that when Odegaard's ready, he's going to get slotted back in, and we're going back to the same lethargic football that we've seen under this guy for 4.5 years.
If we slot I'll probably riot if Havertz gets slotted back in there. But the way that the club plays, and I want to throw it over to Capo too, because I want to make my point after Capo does. The way that the club plays, I mean, I don't even think it doesn't play to an all and out striker. It doesn't play to that profile. It
Right.
plays to a false nine. And that's why you see when you have Moreno in there, he's playing more of a false nine. He's playing deeper, and it allows for Eze and him to essentially switch positions the entire match. Like they alternate in that 9 spot half the time. And Eze's an actual gunman, whereas Moreno is Moreno. Like, I'm sorry, a couple of goals is not going to cover up for the fact that I think he's a garbage attacker. Okay, garbage. I think he is brutal in the 9 to watch. But then again, it's one of those things where I blame the manager for a lot of this. But again, it might be controversial, and I want to hear what Capo says. But I'm gonna expand on this after what Capo says. I don't think Gyokeres is that technical of a player. I think he struggles. With the ball at his feet. What do you think? Capo, my guy.
Real sec, Capo. But does he need to be, though? Because all I think this striker needs is a good through ball. He doesn't need to be tiki-taka.
I'm not saying that, but like who's better on the ball, Gyokeres or Haaland? I don't even think it's close. Obviously, it's Haaland.
Haaland is still Miles. It's Miles. Miles.
You watch, but you just we brought in Gyokeres to be that Haaland-esque type striker, to be given us at least a good percentage of the output that Haaland does. The guy just looks really, really slow on the ball. Like when the ball's delivered to him, great, he'll put it in the back of the net, but he can't generate anything himself. Like he's not going to create. He's not the kind of player who's going to create something out of nothing. You know what I mean? So this is why he's gonna struggle if he doesn't get the service. And I don't think Mr. Arteta is going to change his game plan around him, which is why you're part of the reason why you're seeing this lack of output as well.
Yeah.
So that's just my thought. I mean, Capo, what do you think, bro?
TJ, do me a favor. Put that image up again, please.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll put it I actually uploaded it as an overlay here. One sec. There we go.
Isn't that crazy that the way we play for the last 2-3 seasons is U-shaped football, and we're completely disregarding our striker, right? For me, that is not going to change even if Havertz comes into play. We're not going to risk playing that ball in front of the 18 on the other team. We're not going to do it. He does not want to do it. He wants to play the ball wide and have our wingers go ahead and be the creator. Cross it in. That's all we know how to do. Just spam crosses in. And the fact that we've been spamming crosses in for the last 2 years, now we actually have an out-and-out number 9. For me, gentlemen, I was the first one to raise my hand and say I wanted a left winger before we go for Gyokeres. And knowing that the market only had Gyokeres, Sesko, right? And
realistically,
for me, my number 1 choice was Isak. I'm going to go ahead and put my hands up and say Isak was a guy for us. Now, is Isak pulling out trees? Absolutely not, right? They have their own turmoil. Let them have the fun. Sesko isn't doing anything at Manchester United, even with the 2 new wingers that they have in. And now we decided to go with the bargain and a clinical proven striker for the last 2 years. He's got massive amounts of goals in a team that isn't star-studded. So who else are they going to look for besides their finisher? They're going to do everything possible to go ahead and create for him. Now, you have Saka on one side, which is our star boy, right? He is a star boy. You know, some people take offense to the fact that they call him Starboy, like, oh my God, how old are you? You know what I mean? Why are you calling him Starboy? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Love my man every single day. But
oh my God.
You have Saka that's also trying to put up the numbers and trying to come back into a consistent form at his very highest after that big injury. You have Martinelli and Trossard now battling it out with each other, knowing that either Saka or Noni could go ahead and replace them on the left-hand side. So you have all these wingers that are trying to do something for the team, and at least we're in a GA era, gentlemen. Unless you put up GAs, you're garbage. In my eyes, that's not the way it is, right? What I'm trying to say is, when I saw Gyokeres and when I saw the genuine links to Gyokeres, I didn't feel that pizzazz. I didn't feel that flair. I didn't see it. I didn't see anything but pace and power with that number 9. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because Haaland is a pace and power. But Haaland is a different beast. He's a different animal. He's a robot. We all know this. Yeah. Gyokeres is not a Haaland. Gyokeres will never be a genuine target man, in my opinion, because of his lack of technicality. He cannot, I could tell you right now that my man cannot create a goal for himself unless he were to body people out of the way and force himself through with his speed and power. Show me a goal from Julio Cruz when he played at Inter Milan. Show me a goal from Hernan Crespo. Show me a goal from Batistuta. Show me a goal from Luca Toni. I'm giving you 4 prime number 9s, the best.
Tony was something else.
Gyokeres' goals at Sporting do not even come close to the magic that these 4 players had. So for me to look at Gyokeres and say, hey, he's not scoring enough goals because he's not getting the service. Okay, I see it. Why isn't he getting the service? Because he's not a good footballer. That's it. He's just a finisher. He's not a good footballer. If you have a Saka that's technical, if you have a Martinelli,
I agree completely.
You're not going to want to play it to the guy that's wearing Timberland boots, bro. You're not going to look for him. I wouldn't look for him.
New Yorker, what are you talking about? Biggie and Big L. You're this guy. You wear the black jeans with the Timberlands.
You know the ballers on the pitch are the people that can move the ball nicely. Once you pass the ball to Gyokeres, he's at least taking an extra 3 seconds more than he needs because of his first touch.
Yep.
So all I'm trying to say is, if you're looking at our starting 11 and Gyokeres is in the number 9, there's ballers around him, which is why we don't play him the ball. We want him to be in and around the box to go ahead and score a header, score a fox in the box kind of goal. That is who he is. That is a different dimension than what Marino and Havertz and Jesus can offer us, which is fine, right? We need different cards. We need to play different hands, right? We got a deck of hands. What are we going to play? For me, Gyokeres was never the answer. For me, I said if Gyokeres doesn't score at least 20 plus goals in all comps, it's a failure. It's not a flop if you look at the price tag, in my opinion. It's not a flop if you look at the price tag. But the reason that we didn't have a number 9, and we're going to talk about Havertz playing that position, giving us something different. If Havertz could score 15 goals, but we look for him, why are we expecting Gyokeres to have 15 goals when we don't want to look for him? It makes no fucking sense to me. You know what I mean? It makes no sense.
It's true.
So one thing is true. We have a bunch of ballers that know how to move the ball around because they've been here for a while, right? New boy on the block is not getting the service that he needs because the other boys around him don't feel comfortable giving him the ball. They rather keep possession and not make themselves look bad in front of Arteta by giving Gyokeres the ball.
Ooh.
Right? And three, okay, what was the expectations from Gyokeres, knowing that he was our second in line signing, right? After Sesko, because Sesko was away. Gyokeres is the second guy to come in. He wanted us. So we're going to be like, you know what? Shit, he wants us. We're going to get a nice little cut here. We're not going to spend all our wages on a striker. Let's bring him in. He's obviously going to appease the fans with the amount of goals that he's had for the last 2-3 seasons. We're going to shut him up because they've all asked for a number 9. But genuinely, that number 9 isn't doing anything for us in the first 4 months that we've been playing. And so for me, when we got Gyokeres, I said, no problem. Now we got a number 9. Now we got somebody to push Havertz. But when Havertz comes back, are we getting the same prime A Havertz? No. Is it going to take time to bet in? Absolutely. Is he going to be Is he going to be coming deep and flooding the midfield so that we can have our wingers go ahead and do their thing to find a pass? Of course. I think Havertz is going to come back as soon as he is ready, as soon as he is fit. Gyokeres is going to take some more bench. He's going to learn his role from the bench. And the worst thing that we can have is Havertz, Jesus, and Gyokeres, followed by a Marino, which all fucking four that, well, all three of them are not strikers. The only genuine striker that we have is Gyokeres, which I can't put I wouldn't bet on him to turn it up, to turn it around. I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, I could first of all, everything you said
I don't get a clap.
100% correct.
I don't get a clap. It's 2 against 1. I'm trying to defend G14. I know, TJ, you want to have your say too, but I really wanted to camp the man Capo.
Go.
All right. First of all, let's go back in time. How did we play with Titi Henry and Dennis Bergkamp and Adebayor and Olivier Giroud? I see them. I see your beautiful posters. What was our modus operandi under Wenger? I know it's a different manager, blah, blah, blah. It's been several years. But our modus... Hi, little one.
Hi.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
She's an Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. Come on.
Arsenal player.
Yeah.
Right? But we were founded, and I hope somebody in the chat please agrees with the odd man out today. Our football from Arsenal was forward-thinking, attacking football, having one of the best strikers in the world. Am I not wrong?
You're not wrong.
It
Under
was
Wenger.
pushed to Henry to let Henry do Henry things. It was given to Bergkamp to do Bergkamp things. It was given to Adebayor, Ian Wright, Olivier Giroud, who went on to win things after us. I mean, let's be honest, right? It was centered around having a strong striker, right? But now with this manager, and this is where I divert from blaming Gyokeres to managerial tactics, which you didn't really mention, Capo, which is fair enough in your great speech there. That the reason why is that because of the wingers. No, it was good. No, I agree. I agree with about 95% of what you said. Because the wingers cross over and can get in the box, fair enough. But if you go back, and I urge you and all our friends in the chat, and even my man is Hendo is saying spot on, big up Hendo. None of them had to backtrack defensively. Another good point. Gyokeres is looking over his shoulder. He's waiting for the ball. What's up, big fella? All he needs to do is touch it on the outside of his foot and shoot at the goal. That's all he needs to do. Does he need to trap the ball, do a pirouette, do a robina, do some this and that, and we're in the Timberlands. Come on, Capo. You're an East Coast guy. Those aren't Timberlands. Those are Nike 90s. Come on, bro.
Those are mountain gears. Those are mountain gears. Remember the mountain gears back in the day?
They're probably LA gears.
Yes.
Touch it on, get the ball, touch it on the right side of your foot, and bang it top bins. Right? But
I haven't seen him hold the ball up yet.
Not effectively. He's tried.
He doesn't. See, that's the thing. I don't think, in my opinion, again, he doesn't need to hold the ball up, get around the center back, and then shoot it. He needs to get the through ball from the beautiful midfielder with the blonde hair, touch it on the side of his foot, and bang it in there.
You said I didn't mention tactics. Goon, you already know. I am black and white. I love you to death. I'm going to call you out on it. But we have those opportunities for him to go make that run in behind. I haven't seen him make that run in behind because he's being told you're not at Sporting anymore. You're not making those run in behinds. We're not going to risk losing possession, suffocating them just to benefit you and your run. Maybe it might get picked off. Maybe it might go into the goalkeeper's hands. But those three scenarios, it could be we lose it because they intercept it, the goalkeeper gets it, or we actually may get, one-on-one going on there. But we'd rather keep it safe, play U-shaped football from the back. Right. And even in that specific picture that you have there, we're playing U-shaped football in the opposition half. So for me, what is Arteta really looking for? He is looking for somebody that's going to pull the defenders, the two center backs, out of position so that the wingers could make that crossing.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But what has that gotten us in the last 4.5 years?
Set piece FC.
Thank you.
Good vibes.
Bunch of corners. Good vibes.
Yeah.
North London forever. Right. So my point is, I want this manager to go back to, like I said before, of making it a striker-centric type team, right? It's on the manager to make these decisions. And that's where my man Hendo agrees with me, right? Is that we're a striker-centric club. We've always been that. And I think Gyokeres does have that ability to score, but I do agree with you guys that, yeah, maybe there's some technical ability things, but he scored a brace in the second game of the season against Leeds. He's scored.
That didn't convince me, Dal. That didn't convince me.
That NPC back line had me was not impressive. That was not impressive.
All his goals have not impressed me whatsoever. Those goals are goals. If you were to be up there, you put him in.
Kai Havertz was scoring the same. TJ, what was the goal that we went, oh my God, Kai Havertz? It was against Bolton.
Yeah, it was against Bolton last season.
Against Bolton, where he ran onto a ball and just slammed it in the goal. Other than that, it was off his shin, it was off his knee, it was off his head, a few of them, or it came off his right ass cheek.
Good point.
Why is he getting that service and Gyokeres not? Right, that's my point.
Here's the thing, though, Dal. If you're looking at, I don't mean
striker-centric club to this crossing wingers, which I agree with, of the center of this false nine holding up, pulling the center backs out. I agree with you 100%. But that hasn't won us anything. That U-shaped football has done nothing. So why aren't we making it more striker-centric and give this guy an actual through ball? Let's see what he does, and let's try it over and over and over.
You know who our best striker? You know who our best striker is right now?
Gabriel Jesus. He's got the best record.
Dude, Gabriel Jesus
Michelino Merino.
That guy, he's got.
He has to be at the right spot at the right time as well.
I don't care, bro.
If you give any footballer the amount of time,
yes, because he's in critical areas.
For the amount of time that Merino had against Real Madrid, they do the same finishing move. Like, look, he's had his moments, but he is a dog shit footballer. Let's just be real. On the level of where we need to be, dude, no, on the level of where we need to be, like he is not the guy. Yeah, you're muted, Capo. He is not the levels of a guy that, like, I'm sorry, he put in a dog shit performance against Aston Villa. Can we agree on that? Stinker and hooked after 45.
And Sunderland. I agree with that.
So was Eze. And look, maybe you can just chalk that up to as a bad day at the office. But there were several times leading up to that goal against Chelsea, I was saying, what is this guy doing? We were playing against 10 men, and he looked like he was missing a limb. Like,
right.
Goals are not going to paper over the cracks of bad performances for me leading up to goals. Like, look, big up for the goal. Thank you for being there. But Kai Havertz would have scored that goal. Gyokeres would have scored that goal. Like, if you disagree, that's totally fine. But, like, I also want to get on to Dal's point, too, is that, like, you're bringing up the fact that we're not a striker team. We haven't won anything with a striker. That's just not how this manager plays. He's too risk averse,
right.
and we look like uncomfortable conversations. He doesn't want to turn the ball over because on the transition we look terrible.
Yeah, we're terrible in transition.
Like,
Atletico Bilbao almost got us on transition.
Dude, when we're in transition, it doesn't matter. It could be a League 2 team. They can tear us apart because you can tell they don't practice that. Because the football we are playing doesn't even plan for that because we're always keeping possession. Sorry, go ahead, Capo.
Gyokeres is our fourth striker. I'm just going to put that down right now. Havertz is number 1 because he's gonna die on that hill. He has to. Number 2 is Marino because he's Spanish. He's Basque. Okay.
And he's playing well for Spain. He's playing well for Spain.
He's Spanish. He's Basque. He's played with Zubi. He's played with Odegaard. Right?
He could
also play center back and center mid. So he's a utility player. Plus, from what I've been reading over the last 2 weeks, is he is the smartest football guy that we have on the team. So when you put the mentality, the mental aspect into a footballer that has pace, power, technical, all that, but you don't have the brain, you're not going to play for Mikel Arteta. I'm sorry. Mikel Shakespeare, as I like to call him because he likes to walk. Right? So when you have Spanish, Basque, and utility, and the mental, let's be honest. All those 4 traits is pushing Gyokeres out of the way. Simple as that. He scored more critical goals, important goals, I might add, where I'm like, holy shit, he was at the right time. He was at the right place at the right time. That's something Gyokeres hasn't picked up yet because the speed for him is he's still getting used to the speed. Now, if you put a person that is very fast and very powerful without a brain, but you put a brain, the brain is going to be there first in the special position. You know, a fox in the box, as I would say. So for me, again, going back to this whole striker debate, I've never wanted Gyokeres. Did I see him as a person that could come in and help us win trophies? Yes and no, but what else is out there? Okay, so I took him for the price we paid. I'm not going to wash my hands. I'm going to say, yes, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Welcome. Bring it in. But I haven't seen this shit. I haven't seen him. What are we doing? What are we doing? We bought him for the PR. And the PR isn't PRing. The PR is Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico.
I mean, we looked at earlier, bro, speaks for itself. And there's times I can even go back and look at pictures that even my man Southern Gooners put up with Lee and Jazz and Kenny Ken shows. Southern Gooner, shout out Matt.
Putting up Matty every time.
Gyokeres and Odegaard in certain areas, and Gyokeres looking over his shoulder with the center back 5 yards off him, and he's onside. And Odegaard holding the ball up, can't decide, goes back to Saka, goes back to him, goes to Saliba. I mean, it's just, we have to, I guess my overreaching point is that with when I was talking about the strikers we've had in the past, is we have to go back to, in my opinion, we have to go back to that. We have to go back to that. Because we've won nothing in the last 4 years with the wingers crossing. I mean, I like that too, Capo, but I just say that it's basically playing with 10 men. And I don't think that's Gyokeres' fault. And I do agree with, like TJ says, that's a managerial thing. So I think we all three have our differences in how to approach this situation. But the fact of the matter is, you can look at clips that our man Matty has put up in shows where Gyokeres is just like begging for the ball, bro. I mean, I think there's visual proof of what I'm trying to say here.
There's strikers are known for scoring the goals. You can have a shit game the entire game,
right? But score that one goal.
Score that goal like Marino has been doing consistently now. My ad, okay. You can't take away the fact that he's doing his job when he's asked to do it. We bought him as a center mid or center defensive mid, but he's doing a job at the 9. So when we see Gyokeres and he has a shit game and he doesn't score, what are we arguing about here? Where's the disconnect between understanding that Marino is in a much better position every time, and you look at Gyokeres, he has to throw a fucking hip bone at it for it to go in to the net. Marino's actually making runs where people find him. It could be a half a goal, it could be beautiful deliveries. No matter what,
they're just two different profiles of player, though, Capo. They're two different. They're different profiles of players.
So we have now going back to
he's a midfielder, bro. Like that's the beginning and the end of it.
Utility. You know this.
Like Gabriel Jesus did more link-up play against Club Brugge that I've seen in the 9 all fucking season in 45 minutes.
But you know what?
Arteta
Arteta was like, bro, you need to do this, bro, because I get off on this. I get off.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
One
relax. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Arteta, we understand that that's your boy. You brought him in, you Man City, you blah, 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 blah. We all know where he is. For me, in my opinion, Gabriel Jesus needs to play consistently because I need to know that this guy still has something to offer us. And if he doesn't, I think he does too.
He's only 28. He's only 28.
My biggest problem is
who goes first? His knees are 65, though, unfortunately.
Who goes first? Is it
75 or 80.
Is it Havertz or is it Gabby or is it Gyokeres? Because you know Marino ain't going nowhere. That is how I
think part of what I think Moreno, like TJ was saying earlier, where was he against Villa? Where was he against Sunderland? Oh yeah, he was rolling on the ground in the whole first half against Sunderland, right? And that irks me more than Gyokeres trying to make something happen. Does that make sense? That irks me a lot more. And you're right about Moreno. He has scored some important goals. He looks incredible when he puts the Spain kit on. Go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
No. I agree with you that him spending his time
on the floor. Gyokeres is making runs, begging for the ball that he's just not getting, and that's what I'm saying. I think overall, we're at the same point that we're all really getting to. Like TJ said earlier, is that it's Arteta tactics that's keep making this happen. He's being used as Gyokeres is being used as a defensive false nine. Is he as good at that? And same as Moreno, but is he as good at it as Moreno? No. But he's never really had to do that. You think Sporting Lisbon for the 2 or 3 seasons he spent there that he was used to be a defensive false nine?
False nine. I've never heard of a defensive attacker in general, but this is where not just I'm not saying to you, Goon. Yeah. I've just been hearing this a lot more and more, and I need to.
But it's
wrap my head out there. Yes, attackers do need to defend, but a false nine, defensive false nine, is wild to me.
But that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, and I'm looking at the same stuff you are, bro.
And going back to the point that I've been making year over year, this team is a reflection of how Arteta, Mikel Shakespeare used to play. Safe and sideways, safe and sorry. So going back to it, who is supposed to score the goals? The attacker. The attacker should have the last 1 or 2 touches before the ball's in the back of the net, right? But we love to have so much possession that we're going to bypass that completely,
right?
Unless it's a given. It's a given.
Right.
So listen, going back to the last game,
there has been givens. Like there has been times where he's run into good areas. That's my like.
But we don't give him the ball because of coming from the top. It comes from the top.
Right. Exactly.
If you shit the bed and you don't follow the lead from Maestro, then you already know what time it is. You're going to go ahead and hit the bench, right? But my thing is this. It's when you have this systematic play, right? I haven't seen us play freely. I haven't seen us play that beautiful football where we were smacking teams left and right 2 years ago, right? Was it 2 years ago where we're in the first beginning of the season?
Yeah, January 24.
Yeah. It looks like people just, go out there, boys, and have some fun. I miss that. Now it's, hey, you got to play safe. Don't lose the ball or else we're not going to keep the clean sheet. Listen, I'm the one for clean sheets. I'm a goalkeeper. I know how important it is to have a clean sheet. But when you have one player out of the 11 that's on the field that you can't trust giving them the ball because you know that they're going to slow the play or lose the ball, that is not a systematic problem. That is not a tactical problem. That is a why the fuck did we bring him in problem.
Yeah.
And that is the problem that I have because we tried to appease the fans and knowing that we needed a striker because Jesus and Havertz both got injured. Who else are we going to play? We're going to bank on Marino up there? No, we weren't going to do that. So we had to go ahead and take a gamble and bring in Gyokeres to fill in that 9. We gave him number 14, and that number 14, once again,
is cursed.
I apologize, bro. I'm so Once a fucking game, we're
That shirt's cursed right
lacking
now.
the quality. So that is my biggest thing, is we're giving them too much too soon, and Mikel doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I just think that there's obviously, and let me know if you guys think, if you disagree here. I think there's obvious tension in terms of, in contention in terms of the direction that the sporting director and the manager want the club to go in. I think Gyokeres was 100% a Berta signing. Berta wanted him. You know that Arteta wanted Sesko. And look, Monday morning quarterbacking it. I will put my hands up and I will say 6 months ago, I was sitting on the stream saying, bring me Victor Gyokeres, because I was looking at the sticker. I was looking at the shiny 90 goals that he had scored in Portugal. I was looking at the hat trick that he scored against Man City. I was looking at all these different things, but I wasn't looking at Sesko, where Sesko is more technical on the ball. He gets into the right areas. You saw it before he got injured for Man United. He was doing some good things in a very, very difficult system in the very, very difficult system to watch, let alone probably play in, of Ruben Amorim, right? So the profile of player just doesn't fit what Mikel Arteta is doing. I completely agree with what Capo said. It's to the point where if something doesn't change in terms of tactics, because like he's no spring chicken. He's not gonna all of a sudden learn how to handle a ball or take on a man or put his back to a man, pause, like and do a fucking Cruyff turn and shoot the ball. He's not going to. This guy, unless it lands at his feet or lands at his hip bone, he's not going to score. He's not going to score, or he's going against the Leeds back line that has no fucking idea what they're doing in the Premier League.
Is a perfect gentleman Arsenal signing. He lambasted his old club. He said, I'm dumping my girlfriend. I'm doing all of this just so Arsenal could see that I am devoting the rest of my professional career to give it all to the Arsenal, right? That's why it came in so easy. That's why it came across the line. But once you have a player that is doing that, right, and he only has a track record of being consistent for 2 years, coming back from a Portuguese league, which we've seen in the past with Darwin Nunes, we don't need to say that, right?
It's a sixth-rate league, yeah.
It's one of those where it made sense financially, PR, right? It made sense PR. We got a celebration now. Every time this guy scores, the whole fucking stadium is going to do this. So it's appeasing to a lot of people, except the main person that is going to be calling the shots, which is Mikel Shakespeare again. So there's nothing that is going to change because Mikel is not going to change. We know that he's not going to change. So I think we're just hitting, a dead horse here with the whole Gyokeres thing. When he's in, let's back it, bro. Honestly, I'm just so past it. If Marino's in it, I have a better feeling of us actually scoring important goals than I would Gyokeres in there. When Havertz comes back and he gets forced back in there, I hope he can get another 15 goals. That's just the way I feel. When Gabriel Jesus goes up there, I hope he could give me that beautiful style that we were playing.
Gabriel Jesus is going to bag before the end of the year. Get ready.
My dude, no matter
the end of the year, he's got 2 weeks.
No matter what number 9 I have up there, I'm not happy.
Crystal Palace. Gamble responsibly, people. I am putting $10 on Gabriel Jesus bagging. He's gonna bag against Palace in that cup game. Watch it happen. And he almost scored against Club Brugge, bro. He looked fantastic. On two dusty knees. This guy looked better in the 9 than any other 9 that we've been playing in the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie to you, man.
He did. Statistically, he had more touches than Gyokeres did in the box.
Dude, that's because back to Capo's point, he's doing exactly what Uncle Mikel wants him to do. Mr. I'm going to fix my hair before I go out on the pitch, Arteta. Like this guy literally will not change. And that's what's so frustrating to me, is that he is a smart manager. I don't think either of us, I don't think all three of us have been sitting here all year really giving him the business, because I think he's done a good job managing. I think up until Villa, his subs were fantastic. I think he rotated the squad well against Club Brugge. I was wrong. We got the clean sheet. We got the 3-0. Norgard at center back was a little weird, but I mean, whatever.
Hey, I'm not the oracle. I'm nobody. I'm not the one to say that I am the chosen one or I am one, of the bottle or none of that. But I did say in the very beginning that Norgard would play center back for us. I said it. People that are up there can confide in it. They can say that, yo, you actually did say this. Channels out there. And I said, Norgard is a versatile player because of his size, his physical power, right? And the guy played for Brentford, and he knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows the game. He understands. Like, he was always the better player for Brentford. So I knew that he was going to come in and play center back in one point. Did anybody ever acknowledge the fact that I said that Norgard would be center back? No.
I did. I remember you saying that.
I don't remember you saying it.
I don't remember
it is something that you would say. I believe you. I believe
Nobody even acknowledged the comment, which is what makes me feel like.
Oh, your feelings are hurt, bro.
Your feelings are hurt.
No, bro. Look, I got thick skin, bro. Listen,
okay,
my biggest thing.
When it comes to Gyokeres, though.
No. Listen, please. Norgard is doing a lot more for this club right now than Gyokeres is, in my opinion.
Norgard's played less than 120 minutes.
Listen, it goes back to the manager again. Why didn't we sign Paulinho? Why didn't we sign David Luiz? Because they can't play center back. Let's be honest. They can't play any other position besides CDM or CM. That's it. We have
likes the utility guys for sure.
Exactly. So
100%.
When I saw Norgard, and then all of a sudden everybody's making a fucking big deal out of it. Bro, look at his fucking size. Why are you not going to even consider putting somebody that has been around the block, has experience, has leadership, and you know what I mean, has a size to play center back? It just makes fucking sense. So going back to we had this last window, I'm gonna give it, say, an 8.5 out of 10. Right? I want to give it an 8.5 because I still wanted my left winger, even though I'm getting shut up by both sides, Trossard and Martinelli, right? But I felt like we were still a center mid short. Long story short,
I agree.
We did what we had to do in various positions with 1, 2, 3, 4 players. Noni could play either side of the wing, right? We have Zubimendi. He could play center defensive mid, or he could play center mid. We have I guarantee you he'll probably play right back if fucking White and Timber will get injured. Not, God forbid. But all these signings is the same exact thing that we've been doing over the last 2 years, except these signings are now backed by a person that has pedigree, that has consistency in bringing quality into a club and putting them Berta, exactly. So that's why there's a big difference, because Berta is like, okay, I see what your game plan is, Mikel. You know what? I'm gonna sign off on it because you're fucking out of your mind, but it kind of does make sense. You know what I mean? So if I was Berta, I'd be like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Why would I pay for Paulinho on loan to spend money on wages and then buy him again? For me, everybody was talking about Norgard being a sensible signing because of the price tag and his experience, but nobody ever mentioned his versatility. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I could give a shit what anybody thinks in this chat, in the YouTube world. All I'm saying is I saw it coming, and seeing Norgard at center back is a good tool to have as a last resort.
And you bring up
just like a number one striker is also the last resort to play a striker.
Yeah. So Ken,
Yeah,
you bring up a really good point, and I brought this up on American Waffle, I believe it was, after we had lost against Villa, and just the chaos that whole fucking game was, especially the last, the dead end goal there. Without the leadership on the back line of Gabriel and Saliba, our back line just looks like a chicken with our head cut off a lot of the time. You had Nkapie back there. You had until Mosquera got injured. You had a Mosquera back there. As soon as, what I clocked though is you put Nkapie next to Calafiori when he has Mosquera next to him, or Timber, who's usually playing fullback, next to him. Calafiori or the fullback performances immediately fall off because they do not have that steady hand, that steady leadership playing next to them. They're playing tense. They're afraid to make mistakes. And when you're afraid to make mistakes, I'm sorry, you make mistakes. So you were spot on there, Capo, because I noticed against Aston Villa, Calafiori had his worst game all season. He was getting cooked, okay? And that is because we are missing the leadership in the back line. So if if Norgard is that answer and that calm presence and leadership and that center back, keep playing him there. Keep playing him there.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to happen. And it goes back to what you just said, goes back to the way the left back, right back, and let's just say Nkapie feel, right? With a new player coming in, it's new. It's like, okay, I'm not used to playing with this player. That's the same thing that our wingers are doing with Gyokeres. They don't trust him, so therefore they rather keep the ball and keep it safe and do one-on-ones, just like our goalkeeper, just like our, let's just say, Mosquera got injured, right?
Right.
Nkapie and Mosquera are two new players. We can't expect them to understand each other right away. Yes, they may train with each other nonstop. Yes, they may see Gabriel and Saliba do their thing in communication, but they literally need to go ahead, be one center back, left back and center back. So when you have that what can I say? The word I'm trying to pick is if you don't have that trust with the person next to you, the whole fucking back line is gonna feel it. I've been there, I've done it. If I don't feel like my center backs are good enough for me, I'm gonna go ahead and play sweeper keeper like Raya is doing. Like Raya has been fucking picked out a bunch of times. So when there's new pieces to a puzzle, you have to have time in order for you to feel comfortable playing next to that person, which is why Nkapie and Mosquera, in my opinion, they were trying to outdo each other. They were trying to have, one was trying to have a better game than the other defensively. And for me, Mosquera, I think that injury was a mental injury, because that was the first time that he actually went through pressure. And he came out, he couldn't finish the game, and we just finished getting scored on. I think it was against, who was it? Who the hell did he come off against, Mosquera?
Sunderland, wasn't it?
No,
Chelsea?
it was Chelsea.
Chelsea. He felt the pressure. He's like, damn, this is a freaking London derby, bro. My first London derby playing.
And
I
just got cooked by a 10
and
man
I just
Chelsea.
got cooked. Correct. I just got cooked. I think it was just one of those where it takes time to gel. For me, I see Mosquera and Nkapie gelling with our back line more than I see Gyokeres gelling with our front line.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, yes, 100%. And look, like, I'm with you. And it's easy to forget because we've been driving a Rolls Royce for the last 3 years in our back line with Gabriel and Saliba, and there's been injuries here or there, but we've been driving that car into the fucking ground. So when you bring in these players, you forget they have not played in the Premier League before this season. Right. That's another thing. I'm not making excuses, but you throw me into the fucking big leagues, I'm going to have a problem And there's going to be an adjustment period. You're seeing adjustment periods.
You're going to get 3 red cards. You're
going to get 3. You're going to get 3 red cards. I mean, and you also see. I mean, you see the same thing with Zubamendi. Zubamendi. I rate Zubamendi, but he also makes mistakes that that I think if he plays a couple more seasons in the Premier League, he doesn't make those mistakes.
Right.
We still have newer players that are betting into this team. It's December. We're 14 games in, and our depth is getting rebuilt. These players are all fucking new, a lot of them, and their quality. Don't get me wrong; it's not an excuse for us to drop the league this year. We have to win it. We have to.
I'm not.
It is not. There's not a fucking. We do not have a fucking option. Okay, we don't. But my point is that it is okay to call out the fact that these players are not on. They're very, very good players, very good quality players. But if they are not gelling with the player next to them, what doesn't matter? Doesn't matter at all, especially in this league, especially. So yeah, Dal, final thoughts, man, because I got to get out of here. I got an appointment.
Final thoughts. Okay. Final thoughts is. You guys are fucking delusional. No, I'm just kidding. no, I'm just kidding.
I didn't say shit.
I do want to solidify my argument, though, that I guess it does come from the top man, Frontetta, which we know is telling these players to do specific things. And unfortunately, those things have not led to us lifting a trophy yet in a few years. And I'm not talking about the FA Cup. I'm not talking about the 2 dish plates, right? Something significant. Right, and I think this is now with an like Capo's saying, with an 8 out of 10 window, you would think there would be some difference. I'm not seeing it, and this is where I get the and and that's why when I look at images like we shared earlier with Gyokeres, not even getting a pass, guys. Like it's not like it was like he got a pass and fucked it up. He's not even getting a pass. And he's
really good on the press, though. He's really good at pressing.
Yeah, is he?
He runs really hard.
I know.
Well, he's not.
This is his training day, right? He's the Ethan Hawke in training day.
He's not a space invader, is what he's trying to say.
Space invader, with all the 6 buttons I could never hit on that old stupid game. And I get what the pressing's good. We can't argue that the pressing from Gyokeres isn't that bad. Right. I mean, that's one thing I think we can probably sort of agree on, that yes, he can run his socks off and he can press center backs. Right. But there has been, like, I go back again to our boy Matty, showing evidence that this guy is open. He's running off the shoulder of the center backs. He's creating some space to receive the ball, to do something.
Yeah, we're not going to be allowed to play.
And we're just not giving them the service. And that's, I go back this, I've said this a million times. If the Sporting Lisbon midfield can figure it out, why can't we? Oh, wait, I remember, because Arteta's telling
They don't have any other tools. They don't have any other cards to play besides their ace.
That's a good point, too. That's a good point, too. And I will accept that point as well. Yeah. Right? But there's something like to me, when you buy 8 players in one window, that's a rebuild. And I agree, TJ. That's kind of maybe a depth rebuild. Right? Because we're bringing Mosquera and Capeon instead of fucking Rob Holding.
So we didn't have to fucking watch Rob Holding and Fabio Vieira, bro.
Right, exactly. Because those are mistakes Arteta made. Not keeping Rob Holding, giving Fabio Vieira an exit out of Porto, right? Those are
Tomiyasu an extension.
What's that?
I forgot about that. Tomiyasu while he was mending a fucking ACL,
bro. Right? Yeah, no, I know.
Contract. We really like you here.
It's like we've put more than just Band-Aids over it, right? But I can't get with the argument that Norgard and Zubamendi is an upgrade on Thomas Partey. Maybe Zubamendi will be. But Norgard to me was like, oh, he's available. Oh, yeah, he's from the Prem. Oh, he's pretty tall.
He has experience. He has experience.
I get that. And I get that.
And I think he scored against us last season. I think he scored
probably good. Yeah, there's probably a lot of midfielders who scored against us last season.
You love romantic. Mikhail Shakespeare loves to fall in love. with a story. You know what I mean? That's just what he
Well,
does.
if he likes to fall in love with the story, why can't he fall in love with his players? Why can't he fall in love with Nathan Waneri?
You wouldn't want that. Hey,
why can't he fall in love with Max Dowman? Right?
Hey, yo,
Hey, Flores. Hey, no, this is where I get the with this manager. And I like I said, I think we can all three come to the conclusion, even our friends here in the chat, that it's not necessarily always just the players not doing something. It's because they're being coached a certain way to play a certain role and to play a certain way for a result that sometimes just never comes.
It is so convenient for Max Dowman to suffer his first injury on the wake of Gabriel Jesus coming back. That to me was like
is wild.
Meant to be. That to me was already predicted. That was like, all right, Max, we need an excuse for you. You're a kid. You ain't got a contract yet. Sit your ass down. You're hurt. You're injured because we got Gabriel Jesus coming back. And let's be honest, I think I'd rather put Jesus before Dowman in the sense that I don't want any more time to be wasted around players that have gone too far with our club. And I think Jesus is right there. Jesus is right there. You either show
Jesus
me
won't be with Jesus won't be with the club next year. He won't be.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be for the.
He's going back. He's going back to Brazil. Like,
which is why I'm saying, bro.
We have
Havertz, we have Jesus, we have Gyokeres, and we have Marino, which is probably the least expensive out of all of them.
Right.
But I'd rather get rid of Jesus or Havertz and at least throw my chips into the Gyokeres to come banging soon, hopefully. But
he's got but you and I know, Capo, that he's got to get the service to do that. He's got to at least get the pass. He's got to at least get the ball. He's got to at least get his foot on the ball, right? And if that's not going to happen, then I go back to what you're saying before. What the fuck you doing here, right? Why did we buy this guy? Because Berta found a $60 million deal. It's not much of a deal if he can't score, right? I think we're all correct in our analysis. We just have different ways of how we want Arteta to implement some of these players, right? And at the end of the day, Ivan Toney was the one. Osimhen was the one for me. Hugo Ekiteke looks like he's absolutely killing it for Liverpool.
Dude, I watched Osimhen, bro. I watched Osimhen play for Galatasaray against Monaco. He was not great.
Well, he's going to have some.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by
he's a lot more mobile and quicker and technical on the ball than Gyokeres is, right?
So, no, I agree. I agree with you. I'm just saying that the games I've watched Osimhen in, I'm like, meh.
If there was one person that I would bank, it would be Julian Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez. I was saying sign this guy. I was saying sign this guy from Man City before he went to Atletico Madrid.
There were two players I wanted too. One of them was a guy named Diaby, who TJ knows very well, who I said, Diaby, who I think is in Saudi now. It was at Villa, then went to Saudi.
Yeah, he's in Saudi.
Right?
Yep.
And the other one I said, if we had real balls, we would have gone for Lautaro Martinez from Inter.
No, I don't like it.
People can say what they want.
I don't know.
He's
dying on this hill, Capo. He's dying on this hill, bro.
He was garbage, bro. I'm sorry. I'd rather have Marino up top and score me something.
Gyokeres, you guys are saying is basically garbage. So what's the difference? You're comparing apples to apples, but
Gyokeres. Here's the thing. We didn't say that Gyokeres is. Well, I guess we kind of.
Yes, you guys.
Put the ball exactly on his foot or on his ass or on his head. He'll put the ball in the back of the net. Okay, there. I said it. But let's be real, guys. He's garbage on the ball. He's not a great footballer, but he can score a goal. All right. And with that, I got to get out of here. Big up Capo every single time, bro. Capo, you are more than welcome here any fucking time.
I know that, bro. I know that. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And I know during the summer, summer, spring, fall months, you're out there on the pitch. So big up yourself, bro.
Winter time is downtime, even though I got my own academy started now. And big up to everybody that's joined this first winter session. But listen, I'm just trying to change the culture. I'm trying to change the new generation of the way football is played here in the States. It's all tiki-taka football with me. It's all passion. It's all fun. And I think one of the biggest things that we're seeing now is that it's all about the money, money, money. You know what I mean? And for me, it's taken away from the joy that we all fell in love with this game, which is seeing some beautiful football. And nothing has really changed for me in terms of the way Arsenal has been playing, which is robotic, which is dictated from the top. And hey, the good thing is that we have the results going our way. We're having a lot of clean sheets. We have a goalkeeper that, in my opinion, should be number one right now. Even though I do think Unai Simon is a very great goalkeeper, but going back to the whole, Basque thing,
That's what I wanted to.
yeah, they're very serious with the way to do things. But let's keep the clean sheets going. The way we're playing right now, I feel like we're better positioned for the Champions League over the Premier League. Over the Premier League. That's just the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm not going to make any drastic.
The performances say it. So
yeah. I think we've been seeing that though since last year that we're more of a tournament-based team, which hopefully that allows us to lift 1, 2, maybe 3 trophies in the cups. Who knows? But I just still think with the way we're losing points against, let's just say, a Sunderland, not so much so because I expected that coming, especially Sunderland knowing Xhaka used to play for Arsenal. The boys were going to be up. I think it was more so against Chelsea and Aston Villa where I'm like, fuck, here we go again. We're fucking missing these opportunities to go ahead and get ahead of our rivals like Liverpool and Man City. Now, in this case, Man City. But listen, only time will tell. This won't be the last time over the holidays that I will show my face, man. Smash the like, subscribe, because I'm coming back and I'm doing it again and again.
With Timberland. You're going to have Timberlands on.
Absolutely. And he's going to have Timberlands on. No, big up. And if you didn't enjoy the show, bro, I'm sorry. You do not enjoy football. I think this is the most ball talk we have had on here in quite a while. So big up everybody. Big up Capo. Big up my guy Dow. We will be live. I think I might go downtown to watch the match tomorrow. Okay. By the way, 5-0 Arsenal. That's my prediction.
Mine too.
And yeah, so we may do a match reaction. We might not. Just keep your eye on the prize notification. Hit the bell, hit the notifications, guys. I have to get out of here because I gotta go get what little hair on my head is left clipped. So big up everybody. You know what? I need to redirect. Who's live?
You're on the lookout for a Call of Duty stream too, TJ.
Oh yeah, we may have to do a Call of Duty stream. Oh, and you know what? Go watch one of your favorite Arsenal creators. Go watch Aaron. Go watch Gunner. Go watch somebody. I don't know how to redirect in this new freaking YouTube thing. So go over there, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, go and support your local creator, and we will see you tomorrow. Later. Cheers.